All right. So just in case you guys aren't like sure or know, I am heavily influenced by other YouTube creators, videographers, filmmakers, and a lot of them have been putting up their like 2021 retrospective videos, year-end review videos, and I felt like I kind of wanted to do my own, talking about what it was like starting a wedding videography business, especially during the pandemic. Okay, for context, I'm a software developer by day, and this wedding videography business is totally a side hustle, but I wanted to do it properly. So I wanted to do it properly to protect my clients, to protect me, and to have Revenue Canada, not pissed off at me come income tax time. That's context, okay? So starting the business was simple enough. There were aspects I wanted to do properly and not really mess around with. And there are other aspects of the business that I was like, okay, whatever, I don't care. I just want to shoot weddings. Now, the aspects that you absolutely should care about that I did take seriously was having a lawyer, getting a lawyer to draft, review, and sign off on your contract. Insurances, both your general or business liability insurance and equipment insurance. I didn't want to mess around with that. And a CRM, a customer relations management suite. It's something I wanted to invest in ASAP because I wanted all my correspondence with couples in one place, any payments that come in, and documents. So specifically the contracts or whatever files that couples want to send me. Everything's handled in my CRM, and I didn't want to mess around with that. So up front, those are the things that I wanted to take care of. Also, a nice part is come income tax time, there's a nice report that I can print out from the CRM, and I just give it to my tax person, and all that gets taken care of. The aspects of the business that I kind of just let slide were any of the marketing or the fluff, which some would say is real super important because it's a way to build your business. But my social media accounts for the business, I made some of them. I hate posting on them. I haven't even posted on my Instagram one. I just post all my wedding stuff on my personal one. Probably not a good idea if I was trying to grow the business, but whatever. Maybe I'll focus on that at some point this year. I feel like I'm terrible at talking myself up or talking up my work. I know my work is good. I love what I do and I love what I put out. But if I was to put up and say, this is fantastic, I don't know, it feels wrong. But also my website could use some work. That website took me 15 minutes to throw up, and it's running on a Raspberry Pi behind me. Probably not the most secure. Well, we'll keep going. Let's keep going. Let's get some numbers out the way. I'm gonna talk this up as if it's a win, because I think it's a win. To me, it's a win. It feels great. 52 inquiries, 12 referrals, and 27 bookings. Pretty good. I think that's pretty great. As far as running a business and trying to get clients, this is my first foray into this, so I think this is pretty good. I should say a lot of these inquiries came in before I put up a minimum price, or before I started advertising a minimum price. There's a lot of couples out there who are just straight shopping, which is fine. That's totally a part of the business. But these are couples who haven't actually seen a lot of my work. I think at this point, a lot of them had come in when I only had 2 weddings up. So I really didn't have much to show. But the 12 referrals was huge, because that means these are coming from other vendors like photographers and wedding planners who trust me enough to send clients my way, which means a lot. So those 27 bookings are a huge win to me, because 2021 was the first year I had everything in order when it came to the business aspect. So the biggest challenge I found last year booking clients was the amount of uncertainty and rescheduling. Just the amount of uncertainty due to COVID-19 restrictions. A lot of couples actually ended up rescheduling out to 2022, even 2023. To make it easier on my couples, I didn't charge a rescheduling fee. Now, I know a lot of vendors do charge a rescheduling fee, but just a courtesy, because mainly I don't know what I'm doing. If I was available, yeah, and it worked out, I didn't charge a rescheduling fee. But it did cause some headaches where I don't like to have back-to-back weekends of weddings. And last year that happened a couple times because of the rescheduling. So I would say, yeah, that was really the only real challenge when it came to booking clients. Any tutorial or any behind the scenes wedding videographer class or whatever you find online, it pretty much prepared me for the weddings, pandemic or not. Of what's generally going to happen. You know, bride's going to walk down the aisle. Do not miss the kiss. Capture all the vows. Capture all the dialogue you can. Speeches, toasts. For bridal or groom prep, you know, you got to capture some details, get some emotions, maybe a first look. Sometimes you do a letter read. There are staples of the wedding that you know you're going to get, and I was pretty much prepared for all of that. I was able to upgrade some aspects of my gear. In fact, the video I wanted to upload was a ceremony kit video, which I'll put up in maybe in a week or two. Yeah, as I shot more weddings, I decided I needed to upgrade or change some stuff up, and I was able to do that. So shooting in the pandemic definitely created some challenges. One of the biggest hurdles was the restrictions regarding venues or spaces. I don't know if that makes sense. I'll explain. Some of the restrictions prevented me and other vendors from entering like private property. So like someone's house to do a bridal or groom prep, the restrictions were so strict where you could only have one vendor present. So let's say a bride had a hair or makeup person, photographer and videographer couldn't be there. This was a hotel room, same thing, or they could have two. They would do hair and makeup and maybe the photographer. And then I'd have to swap out with the photographer at any given moment so I could get my detail shots. And it was just a headache. And while that wasn't for a lot of my weddings, luckily it was only for a couple, but it still prevented me from getting what I wanted for those wedding videos. In some cases, couples opted to not have a reception altogether. While they were okay with having like a super small ceremony, again, given restrictions, they can only have 10, 15 people. A reception cut, that cuts out like essentially a third of the content that I would be able to put into a wedding film. And some of that content's pretty huge because that includes speeches, the dances, toasts, and some of the surprise content that really can make a wedding video unique. Yeah, that doesn't happen. The worst case of that would be like the perfect storm, I'd say, of the restrictions where I wasn't able to get any prep and I wasn't able to get any reception footage. So there were a couple weddings I had to do where it was just the ceremony. I'm really limited. But given that we're in a pandemic, I had to work with what I got. That was rough. Those weddings were a little rough. 2022, I'd say my outlook is generally optimistic. I haven't had any unreasonable couples. Basically, all the couples that I've been able to work with, all the vendors that I've been able to work with, given the restrictions, given all the bullshit that the pandemic has like brought on us, everyone's been very good and understanding with one another. So I think as long as everyone continues with that type of energy, I think we'll be just fine. So far, I haven't had any cancellations. Everyone's perfectly fine with rescheduling. What's helped a lot was a lot of my couples don't just pick a date and say, this is what we're doing. A lot of my couples have been doing here are our 3 dates we'd like to reschedule to, and they throw those dates out to all the vendors, and they pick the best one that works with like most or all of them. They've been very accommodating, and I'm hoping all the other vendors are being accommodating too, because when we all work together, we can make the day great, and you get a better product that way. I'm really grateful for that, and because of that, I think 2022 is gonna be just fine. Yeah, things I gotta work on. Marketing, man. Like my Instagram kind of sucks, but you know, it's me. Like I post my dog, I post my fiance. Oh shoot, yeah, I'm getting married. I'm approaching this as a wedding vendor, knowing what wedding vendors have to go through, knowing what the brides have to go through. Okay, but I don't want to rant on that. That could be another video. I think that pretty much covers what I wanted to talk about. I hope this video makes sense. The runtime on this recording is 39 minutes, and I got to edit this down to 8 minutes. Like I talk way too much. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. It's going to be about my video ceremony kit. I hope to have that one out soon. Okay, bye guys. Bye.